My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I've got a lot up on YouTube and Facebook over the last 4 to 5 years. And I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, is who my father is. The plot to take down King Edward VIII by the Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Rockefellers, Bilderbergers, Rothschilds, part of my own family, illegal George VI. The whole lineage there is wrong. My dad never married Wallis Warfield Simpson. A double did and became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. The antics and crimes that he committed were blamed on my father. My father was always married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, who was actually the Queen Mom and the Queen. In 1936, she was married to my dad, King Edward VIII. He didn't abdicate to marry Wallis Simpson. He was married to my mom. There was an addendum that was legal that made me, if he had an heir, and I was born in 39 and kidnapped in 41. So I am the legal heir. I was brought here. The Kennedys, JFK, flew in and stayed at the embassy with his father, who was ambassador by Roosevelt, appointed him. So the Roosevelts, the Jews, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, etc., all helped in my kidnapping and part of my own family. And I want to throw this in. I've been kept penniless and homeless, and the way I've been treated is beyond belief, and the crimes committed against me. But I recently I started thinking about it. At the very least, if I didn't get back, which is what I want, my father's name cleared, me restored to my rightful place in history, the monarch, Queen of England, and this whole bloody mess of what's been allowed to happen, the crimes to my father, my mom, my family, my country, exposed and dealt with. I guess, well, here's what I want to say here. Evidently, there is money that comes in if you're part of the royal family. So at the least, I would have had a part of that to keep me from being on the street and what's happened to me. But Elizabeth is sitting there covering up a crime, which in itself is a crime, just like the Dempseys over at Moulton, Alabama. It's strange when you expose a crime. I found out about being kidnapped and tried to do something about it, how people react. The Dempseys, just like Elizabeth, are all Sunday go-to-meeting people and claim to believe in God. Well, if I don't know, try to put yourself in place of somebody else, whether it's God or not. Wouldn't that offend you if you thought you were making a fool out of someone? So I'll ask you, what do you think he feels, God, since you brought this yourself into all of it? You go to Moulton, Alabama, Dempsey, the woman that killed her twins, that they put me there, and she's a psychopath. The whole family covered it up, became criminals, and ongoing. And then when I found out about my kidnapping, they wanted me shut up in the worst way because they knew they were part of it and they didn't want their reputations, quote, tarnished by telling the truth about their crimes. So anyway, back to this. Elizabeth is sitting there in my home, my money, feeding her whole bloody family there. Kate, William, illegal, all of them. And I'm sitting over here still begging for my name back. And not just a piece of what belonged to me, all of it. And you are a war criminal, Elizabeth, so are the Dempseys. And a bunch of other people, believe me. I guess this is at the last part of this video. I wanted to say this, though. Oh, the way I've been treated here is when I found out about my kidnapping, they actually hate me. This country took it back, got their independence back when. And so, how come they had to kidnap me and take down my father? So, you talk about having their bit in overthrowing the British government's what they were doing. I mean, they've got me over here, and it's been a joke that they could do it and torture me in the way they have and get away with it. And they hate me, just like you tell the Dempseys. I found out about it, the crimes they'd committed, and you start telling it on YouTube and Facebook and trying to get the law to work for you, then they want you dead. So um, I, I wanted to, because the United States is supposed to be the great savior, all right? So I'll leave it at that. Um, Hopefully the truth will be told. They hate me. They don't, because I'm British. They don't care if my mom was Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, American, or anything. I'm not family to them, and I want to. I'm a kidnap victim. I'm a hostage, actually, but hey, they got away with it. They're still getting away with it. So the young man that was in North Korea as a hostage, he was in jail, and they sent him home, and he was dead, brain dead. Now then, don't take offense at me. I'm just saying this, reporting it, if you want to say that. What's the difference in the way I've been treated? I'm a hostage, I'm a monarch, and the crime is ongoing, and people still socking it to me. You should see it. It should be on a reality show. Only people are being filmed and they don't know you're filming it, because that's the real them that comes out. When I was flown out to Larry Flint's, he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I was doing a book about mind control and program shooters, like, in essence, the Manchurian Candidate, the movie, only this got involved, and you can create an illness and you can cure it and make it look, you can murder them, and how do you prove it? So, anyway, Larry Flint was shot. I never met him, but I knew the murder, his shooting and everything was done in patterns. I lived at Moonraker Apartments in Marietta at the time, 1978. The book was unpublished because they, quote, made me a vegetable almost. It was a miracle. It didn't, took time to get through and all that. Anyway, I was flown out to Larry Flint's in 83 because one of the doctors, Larry McDonald, that I wrote about, Congressman Doctors, he was on the KAL that went down, was shot down by the Soviet or the Russian MiG when it veered into their airspace. The plane went down supposedly with 260 plus people and Larry McDonald on it. So Larry Flint flew me out there. First time I'd met him, but I knew that his shooting was done in patterns, and it was mind control shooting. The person was programmed to shoot. And the first thing that he said to me when I met him was, "You don't have to tell me anything about yourself. I know everything there is to know." And he quoted this: I know that they were going to send you back a vegetable," which is exactly what they meant to do. Now I want to ask you, all the people were loving and supportive, and it's all on TV about the young man, what North Korea did. Yet not one word of how hideous the ongoing crimes that's still being committed against me by this country, in this country. So help me God.